And I can live in freedom from shame, and I can experience a life in victory that is full of joy. Can I just tell you that is why you're sitting at these tables? That's why you're watching this video right now, is so that you can know without a shadow of a doubt, shame is not who you are. You are meant for more. And the enemy knows that. And I'm telling you, his one objective is to tell you you are not a child of God worth anything to this world. And that is so beyond the truth. You are a child of God. And it's time that we stand up and we start fighting back to reclaim our identity as sons and daughters of the Most High, so that we can see what our destiny is and run towards it with fervor. Come on. Is anybody else feeling this right now? Are you feeling it? I already feel it for you. I'm like, get up and let's fight. Come on now. Here's the worst thing that happens. Shame, if left unchecked, it will lead to something even more dangerous, and that's called apathy. You believe that you are a failure long enough, guess what? At some point you give up the fight. At some point you just say, nah, it's not worth it anymore. I'll never be better. I'll never do more. I'm not worth this. And then you stop caring altogether. You count yourself out, not even realizing that God's qualified you in. You've got to fight. So you may be thinking right now, how in the world do I even begin fighting guilt, shame, apathy? Candace, you have no clue where I'm at. Friend, I know where you are at. I've been in every one of those seasons at different points of my life. And I can tell you clearly, if you're going to fight guilt, let's start here. You have to discipline guilt. You cannot leave guilt undisciplined. Here we go. This passage says it the best. The Message version of Hebrews 12, 4 through 6. It says this. Hey, don't feel sorry for yourself. I added the hey. I like that word hey. So just imagine it said it. Don't feel sorry for yourselves. Or have you forgotten how good parents treat children? My dear child, don't shrug off God's discipline. But don't be crushed by it either. It's the child he loves that he disciplines. The child that he embraces, he also corrects. God is educating you. This trouble that you're in isn't punishment. It's training. The normal experience of children. If you feel at all that God is just rubbing your nose in everything that you've done wrong, that's not a correcting God. That's a good, loving Father. That's not the feeling of the Holy Spirit. That's a feeling of an enemy trying to condemn you and strip away your identity. So right now, know that you may be guilty. Hey, guess what? There's hope. There's always hope in Jesus. He is your righteousness. Hey, he is your good. And if you can trust in that and realize that every time that he brings correction, he's bringing training. And he's bringing training for a fight so that you can be ready to live a life full of joy. You know, if you're ever going to fight apathy, shame, and guilt, you have to accept the loving discipline and correction of a good Father. He's training you. He's training you for the fight. You know, Defiant Joy evicts all of shame and guilt and apathy when it depends on the work of the Holy Spirit. When it realizes, I can't do this alone. God has to tell me what he loves about me and what needs to be pulled out of me. And I've got to trust that the Holy Spirit is doing all things to work for good within me. I have a new friend, Pete. He owns this place. And he told me something pretty remarkable just a second ago. He said that most fighters spend most of their time on the ropes, just throwing defensive punches. But they need to stay in the center of the ring. And Joy is like that. She's calling you to get in the center, put your dukes up, and fight. Fight for the abundant life that you know has already been promised to you. Why stay against the ropes and just find yourself weakened and weary and just done in by the fact that you're trying to stay afloat? Get in the center of the ring and fight. And let joy win. might need a little bit more training than I really thought. All right, homework this week is pretty simple. You're going to find 5 smooth stones that you can write on. So I've got a marker here, and I've got 5 stones. I just so happen to have them. The magic that is this bucket and being prepared, right? On each stone that you have, I want you to list out and really take time to pray through what you're going to put on there. But I bet you already know what you're going to write. You probably don't have to think too hard. What are the things that you are struggling with still, with having guilt over and shame and things that you believe about yourself that just aren't true? Maybe some of you just need to write the word apathy, because I'm apathetic. Take that stone, write your word, and do it with 5 of them. Now here's the assignment. Don't just put them on your desk or on your kitchen table or counter and look at them and think, oh, Jesus is going to free me from that. That's so cute. No, what I want you to do is actually physically grab all of these rocks. Just get them out. Get them all. And I want you to feel how awkward this feels to keep these rocks with you all week long. I want you to be able to hold these, put them in your purse, put them in your pocket. Dudes, if you're going to put these in your pocket and try to sit down, don't wear skinny jeans this week. It's not going to be good for you. I'm just saying. But isn't that like carrying around undue guilt, shame, and apathy? We find ourselves in an awkward situation, not really living in the freedom that we need to live in. So hold on to these. It's a really weird assignment, but do not let these out of your sight or off of your person until next week. If you're doing this as a group, take these stones, give them to your group when you come back together. If you're doing this as an individual, just make sure 7 full days you carry these around. Be mindful. Write down, how did this make you feel all week, having to carry the extra weight? What were some of the thoughts when you would look at these words? Do they have power over you? Did you find yourself wanting to talk more about it than you've ever talked about it in the last 10 years and tried to just sweep it under the rug? This week's going to be a little bit awkward, I know it. But I'm hoping by the end of the next week that you're going to find these things don't have power. Not at all. And you are not the sum of the things that you've been carrying around. Drop the weight, join the fight, and experience a life filled with joy. It's waiting for you to take the first punch. Hey, I want to talk with you. No, not at all. Not yet. When you know come on. Modesty